Good morning. It's time for Comics and Coffee with Cliff and special guest Brian LCS, and we're fresh from HeroesCon, and we will be right back with you after one quick special message. Now, according to the rules and regulations, we got to keep it cool for the first 7 minutes, but after that, it's fair warning for everybody. Good morning, Brian. How are you doing?
I'm well. How about you?
I am here. I'm fairly awake. I don't know how I've been doing anything. It's great. What a marvelous chat we have. Look at these wonderful people. We've got the ever-loving Christina Payne, and I'm sure we're going to talk CBC awards a little bit this morning. Remember, Christina Payne is more than eligible for Community Builder. So please, I highly recommend Phil's Treehouse. Like Dyson did with vacuums, Cliff is about to revolutionize the shampoo industry. Yes, indeed, because shampooing your toilet can be a thing too. Can't wait to hear all the heroes here. Bunk, what a pleasure to meet you at the show. Christina Payne. And John's Comics with Kids. Good morning. Love you, John. We missed you at Heroes.
Yeah, we gotta get
boy. Good morning, Bradley. How are you? Sorry, Brad. Cat Fan Comics Man. Good morning. Brian LCS is like the Canadian Chris the Comic Vet likes to call it, omnipresent. And of course, Phil. Oop, there's James Abel. James, thank you. And thank you for shouting me out on the Discords. I appreciate you. And I believe we are caught up on the chat. So good morning, folks. Welcome. It's been a heck of a week. We're back from HeroesCon. Things happened at HeroesCon. HeroesCon was HeroesConning. Lady Fantastic told me to go right ahead and use the toilet, and I unwittingly annihilated Madam's toilet, and then I shampooed it because there was nothing else in the room for me to do. So there you go. That's the gist of it, everybody. I think people are tired of hearing the story, and if you're not tired of hearing the story, well, then you'll just have to wait for my independent video. Brian, how about you?
Well, why don't you? I mean, this is your first time, right? First time at Heroes. So, what was your overall impressions?
Okay, so this is really hard for me. So I had a great time, but right there's the but, right? There's a comic book in my window. There should never be a comic book in my exposed window. I gotta fix that. So anyhow, the drive was just like unmerciful. So I left here at, let's say, 9:30 at night. I got to Izzy around 11-ish in the Bronx. We got to Cuppy around 12:20-ish in Brooklyn. And then we headed down to HeroesCon. Hit, miss, awake, not awake, tired, switching drivers, everything. And I may have been holding back. But around 5:45 or 6 a.m., the GPS took us into oncoming traffic, which thankfully there was practically no one on the road at the time in Virginia. So we lived. That was great. We enjoy living. But it was a situation of like, hey, why are those lights facing us? Hey, why are none of the signs facing us? Then we stopped at Biscuitville, right, where they actually make the biscuits. There's somebody like in the window making biscuits in front of you, so like that's neat. And I was starving, so I had the little mini breakfast thing, and I just tore through. But my word, boy, was that gravy salty. My goodness. Also, you want to talk about an annihilated bathroom? The bathroom was annihilated, and Izzy had to get somebody. And then when I had to use the bathroom was just full of Clorox suds. And I say Clorox suds, there's the Clorox spray, which isn't quite entirely Clorox, right? It's like that. It's like they took a container of that and doused the bathroom in it, right? Oh. So I felt very secure using the facility, but it was doused. Good morning, 9-panel grid. Good morning.
Yeah, we got a bunch of others joining us in the chat.
MJ, good morning. MJ, I wish you were at Heroes too. It would have been great.
Shop.
Nerdy Geek.
Lady Fantastic's here.
JD says Brooklyn. Lady Fantastic is here because the guilt drew her. The guilt drew her to be here. She knows. She knows that she innocently lured me into destroying that bathroom. The bathroom that we all know I shampooed.
So your trip to HeroesCon started. So the con is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but you started Wednesday night. Wednesday night to drive. Right?
Thursday, because apparently Thursday is open. It's just practically open game, right? So Thursday we have the breakfast. I don't know what we did. Everything else is like that. We found our way. We meandered. We arrived in Charlotte at 1 something. We had to find parking. Izzy's booking parking on the phone. We finally park. We walk to the convention center. There's people all around. And, it's funny because, you could just tell how tired I am now combined with how tired I am thinking about how tired I was when it happened. So everyone's checking in. Izzy goes and gets his press pass. Cuppy has his VIP pass. And I'm a peasant. I have a peasant pass for peasants, right? So then, I think it's Cuppy and I. Cuppy and I have no way onto the floor, and everybody's on the floor Thursday night. So we go down, the woman's like, "Where's your blue band?" Right? And it's like, "Oh, well, we're volunteering." She goes, "Well, you talk to that front desk." So we go to the front desk, and we're like, "Yeah, we're here with the Comics During Cancer booth, blah 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 blah," right? And they're like, "Oh, cool. Well, they've already checked in. They're at booth 1766. And we're like, "All right, thank you so much." And we just walk in, and I'm just hiding, and I'm using my bag to hide my hand. And we go to the CC booth and start saying hi to people, and just that, and then that's it. And then we did some early shopping. There was a guy right around the corner from the C3 booth who had Rogue's second and third appearance in ROM. And Rogue joins the X-Men. And I picked those up for Vogs immediately, and blew his little mind on day one. So I'm sorry I'm not great at doing a layered experience thing, right? It was really good to see people in person, and that was lovely. And Rob is so much taller than I thought in real life. So yay. So there was that. So it was the C3 booth, saying hi to people, doing a little pre-gaming, the shopping a little bit, Yeah,
I was surprised. I was surprised at the amount of people. So I drove up Friday morning because I'm about an hour and 45 minutes away. So I figured, and I did this last year. I drove up Friday morning, but I'm checking Instagram Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, and I'm like, I can't believe how many people were on the floor who didn't have press passes or weren't vending. So I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? Did they start the con early?
Right, and basically they kind of did, right? And of course, so many of us had press passes, and I didn't even try because Mark pressured me into buying my regular ticket so far in advance. Next year, I'm going to be ready. So everyone's still setting up Thursday night, and I'm not. This is going to be really weird for me to say. I am impressed with the volume of comics I saw going. I was not impressed with the selection on display. So we're going to come back to that. So we check into our Airbnb and we go to eat Thursday night. And of course we missed out on anything and everything happening at the hotel. But whatever, it's a long day. We're tired. Fine. So we went to go eat at Twin. Now I'm in the bathroom upstairs. Izzy and Cuppy are downstairs, and they're like, "Where do you want to eat? This place or that place?" And one of the places is Twin Peaks. Now, when I look at Twin Peaks on the phone up in the bathroom, all I can see is the food, and I'm like, "All right, Twin Peaks sounds cool," because I'm thinking David Lynch.
Right.
I'm thinking David Lynch. And we're in the car, and I'm making David Lynch jokes left through. I was like, "Oh, are we gonna have to smell of a mystery?" I was like, "I'm not going into that cabin. I'm not going into that cabin." I was like, are they gonna serve black coffee with everything? You know, I'm like, what are we gonna do? Is it black coffee and whatever? Like, I'm just like going on and on and on about it. And we get there, and when we get out of the car, Cuppy says to me, he goes, I really admire your commitment to the bit, right?
Oh, really?
Like, and I'm like, but I mean, like, and I am doing a bit about it, you know, but I'm like, yeah, sure. And then we open the doors, and he slapped me in the face like a dead Joker fish. And I'm like, the Twin Peaks are titties. The Twin Peaks are titties.
See, I didn't. To be honest, I didn't know that either. I have heard of so I was a fan of the Twin Peaks, David Lynch, TV series, but so I have heard of the restaurant. I think I actually saw. So there was one, I think, in Orlando. So when there was a group of people that went to MegaCon, Robbie Phillips, pop culture philosophers, Bueller, they were hanging out at Twin Peaks restaurant. They had like a little bit of a meetup, but I had no idea it was kind of the Hooters of mountain ladies, I guess. I don't know. I didn't know that either.
All I know is it was clearly not for me, but the food was good, and I very much enjoyed the wings and the And let me tell you, for $2.99, the smothered tater tots that came to our table, fantastic. But like I was like, oh no, that's the twist. The twist is it's titties, and I'm like, so by the way,
kind of Twin Peaks.
Good morning, Dead Man. Good morning, Dracula.
Drac.
I'm a newbie. Wait a second. No. Ooh. Wait a second. What did I miss? What did MJ say?
Well, I think he's got Biggie Shaq coming up on his channel.
Oh, does he? Oh, I'm excited. Way to go. Immortal Biggie Shaq on MJ. I'm going to have a very full Saturday. That's what that's going to be. I love it. I love when community members mesh on our YouTubes. I love it. I want more of it. That's why I have such a good time with it. I just enjoyed being on other people's shows, and I enjoyed meeting so many people. It was so great. So anyhow, I feel terrible. So on day 1 is Friday. So yeah, it's got to be because I'm meeting people. So right. I lose my phone while at the Arthur Adams booth, right? But okay, wait, we got to go. Brother John and Digger Jim. So I'm
got to meet Brother John this year.
Yeah, so I was on. That's when you met him. You met him with us. I was on the peasants line, right? So I'm online with the peasants, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe this. And I hear, don't worry, you're not alone. And it's Brother John and Digger Jim, and we're on the peasants line together, and it's wonderful. And then Vox came in, and I had him join us on the peasants line, and I told him, please shut up and stop asking about if it's okay you cut, because no one knows you cut unless you keep talking about it. But no, Brother John Digger Jim really had to take care of me because, I was overtired and over bitchy. Because I was like, look at us in the peasants line. Look at everybody just walking in. Then, Brian, you check in. You come over and say hello with all your VIP stuff. And then you wander off to your VIP section. And I'm like, look at these bitches. Everybody's got VIP. Everybody's got the press pass. Look at the exactly. So there was that. Then we finally got in, and we just hit the ground running. Of course, I went to the C3 booth first, but right next to the C3 booth is Arthur Adams, right? So I immediately run there, and I get 3 books signed because he's $15 a signature, and he's got 2 handlers. Yeah. One who's like part of the booth, and one who's like a floater. The floater is the one who took our picture. And that's when my phone gets lost. So I'm running around the con, calling the phone, looking everywhere. I've told everyone I lost it. I go to the C3 booth. I tell DJ how I lost it, and I'm still out of my mind because, nowadays you lose your phone, it's like you're losing your life, right? And he's like, it's okay, Cliff. Like, it's cool. He's like, no matter what happens, right? He's like, it's not C3's fault that this happened, right? I'm like, no, it's not. I'm like, what do you think? I was like, I'm looking at him like, I'm not like other people. Okay? I'm like, it's my fault I lost my phone. And if I'm salty about it for the rest of the weekend, I'm only salty with me about it the rest of the weekend. So then I pursued. I'm running all over. We find Matt. We go through all of Matt's stuff. Matt doesn't have my phone. Puppy's phone rings, and the other gentleman whose name I keep forgetting, but he's always in the chats, this poor guy. And there it is. Good morning, Matt. Oh my God, was it? Anyhow, I think it was a Matt. I don't know. It's all getting very blurry. But he was very nice, and he returned my phone to the C3 booth. So I go running to the C3. Now, mind you, the whole time looking for my phone, I meet Jesse, the Omnidog from Omnidog's Vault, and I'm like, dude, I can't talk. I got on my phone. So, and then I never saw him again for the weekend. We like hung out for 5 seconds, running around looking for my phone. Then I meet up with Cuppy. We run downstairs. Christina Payne and Madam and Lady F are so excited to meet me. And I'm like, y'all gotta wait. I can't find my phone. And I'm like, and I'm in the VIP room and I go, look, my phone was lost. I'm just checking. And they're like, did you check the front booth? I was like, it was the first place I went was the front booth downstairs. They're like, well, that's where it's going to be. I'm like, all right. Then I run outside. I take pictures with the ladies. And they're like, Cliff, are you okay? I'm like, I'm out of my mind. I can't find my phone. I'm sorry. And, you know, so we take pictures. I don't even know who has those pictures. Someone sent them to me. And then I meet the lady at the front security desk. And she goes, check with me because everything has to go through me before we lock it up at the end of the day. And anyhow, it was at the C3 booth. That gentleman, Matt, Mike, whatever, I can't remember his name. You know, he brought my phone back. I was so happy. I was clutching that phone like it was like my only pearl necklace, like, you know, like forever, you know? So, and I got my Arthur Adams signatures, you know, and I did some dollar bin shopping on Friday. And there was 2 different booths that had 30 books for $20. So, you know, I just rolled up my imaginary sleeves and I just got in there, you know, and I just did my thing, looking for Avengers, looking for Thor, looking for Defenders, looking for Marvel Team Up, looking for Marvel Team 2-in-1. And it's really funny. So the first guy I went through, I had to go through a bunch of crap and like force myself to get a bunch of Avengers and then like get other things to hit 30. And then the second dude, I found a bunch of Thor and I had to force my way through other stuff to hit 30. So I thought that was kind of funny. And that was basically day 1. Oh, Cliff, did you get a pearl necklace at the con? No, Drac. These mofos were dry. Dry. I've never felt like I was in the pit in the Sahara where Bane was born, but there's no one there. There's no one there. And it was just so dry and crispy. At one point, Cuppy is walking around downstairs with his shirt off, and I didn't even care. That's how dry and crispy it was. That's how dry and crispy.
It wasn't dry. It was kind of humid, actually. It was a little moist.
No, I'm talking about the sex. The sex was dry and crispy. Right, it's the 18-minute mark. I can say everything I want. Fuck, shit, motherfucker. There we go. That's it. So they were dry and crispy.
I don't know. You got to explain to me. What's the 7-minute rule? Is that a YouTube rule?
That's our YouTube rule. So all the cursing and vulgarity and all that in the first 7 minutes, the algorithm is looking for it, right?
Oh, I see. I'm learning. I'm learning lots of things today.
So anyhow, and I had to put this together through a variety of things. Those YouTube videos that like teach you, right? So I watched that. And also I have this one video of me and Lady F, and I can never have it monetized. Never. And I finally figured out it's because Lady F and I are cursing too much in the first minute. In the first minute, we're already off the wall. And I'm like, oh, so that's it. That video will never be monetized. Did you say hi to Lars to suck more youth out of him? Of course I said hi to Lars. It was great. So Lars used to work for Wizard Magazine, and I confused him with another young man who I used to know at Wizard Magazine, who was very nice because, you know, I hate to say it wasn't like there was too many nice folks who worked at Wizard back in the day when I would go to Wizard World. But there was this nice young man, and I really liked him, and we bonded through Joe Prado, right? So, like, that was nice. And then I haven't seen him in years. And then I saw Lars on the show, and he was talking about Wizard, and then I see him in person. And when I saw him in person, I'm like, oh, he's definitely not the guy. Definitely not the guy, right? And oh my God, we are terrible vulgar people. We kind of are. We kind of are. We're not terrible. I don't like to think we're terrible, but we're pretty vulgar.
Yeah, I wouldn't say terrible. That's yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit extreme.
Vulgar, yes. Vulgar, I agree with that. Yeah.
Yes. Like, so, and of course we had the dinner. We had the meetup on Friday.
Oh, yeah, that was great. Yep.
It was great. And by the way, that's it. Just next year, the meetup is everyone just show up at the same place and order your own damn food. So let's talk about what went down at the dinner. The dinner was lovely. Everything was wonderful. I got my comic book signed.
Yeah, so I can give you the insight on the dinner, right? I was the first one at the restaurant.
Yes, and they didn't even know we were supposed to be there.
Yeah, so they screwed up the reservation, and Dave did. Dave had called them and everything, and so I get there and I'm like, I'm here for the, for the party, the group, and the hostess or she looks at me like she grabbed a couple menus and was going to seat me, and I'm like, no, we're here. We've got 50 people coming. We're here for a big party, and she's like, I don't know anything about this. She goes, let me go talk to the manager. The manager comes out. He's like, we don't have anything scheduled, and I'm like, well, you got 50 people that are on their way, so we better figure this out. So I'm trying to get a hold of Dave, and I couldn't get a hold of him because he was on his way. He was walking over. And then they finally found the paperwork, and it looked like they had it booked for the next weekend. And so then Dave got there, and he kind of got it straightened out. They had the room, the space was available for us. They didn't have the food ready. So they kind of threw some food together for us. Spaghetti and they did what? Pasta and a salad and
a spicy chicken parm. Who asked for a spicy chicken parm?
Yeah, mozzarella sticks. So
right. Oh, the mozzarella sticks.
And I'm gluten-free, so I couldn't eat any of it. So I had to order. I ordered, something else that I could eat off the menu. But but I mean, it was good that we still had the space, and there was so many. That was a highlight, certainly, because we were able to, get so many people in one room at the same time. So, yep.
I had so many people sign my comic. Now, some people are using one comic for multiple occasions. I'm not such a person. This one is my HeroesCon 2025, and I will have another blank ready for TerrificCon. And every show I do, I will have an independent blank ready, and that's it.
I got the poster signed.
Yes.
So I got the 2025 and got everybody to sign this. So this, and I did the same thing last year. This is what I'm going to do every year, is has everybody just sign this and have this as my, hang it up and have this as my keepsake.
I love it. And so that was fun. Now here's the thing. So the food, basically adjacent to garbage. The beer and wine, excellent. I was having that blood orange cider from Texas. Like, I took a picture of it and everything. Unforgettable. That was fabulous, right? A valiant effort from Dave, but this is why Rob is the manager. He does spreadsheets. Dude, Rob don't want this job. No one wants this job. So let me tell you, at the end of the night, they charged Dave for 60 people.
Really?
Yes. They charged him for 60 people at the end of the night, right? So that was a pisser. So I don't think Dave ever wants to do this again. I don't think anyone ever wants to do this again. So next year, I think we're going to go to the same place and everyone get your own food, because
that's probably better. I mean, because I'm sure Dave learned very quickly, and that's why Rob gave it up, is that, you got to chase people, you got to get the money, and him being and trying to manage that from Australia with the time difference, that must have been interesting to handle. So, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you the part where he was kicking himself real hard. He's like, I read contracts for a living. And the contract said June 27th. And he was like,
oh, okay. So, yeah, because that's what they had said to me. They said, "Oh, we do have it reserved, but it's for next weekend, not this weekend."
Right.
So,
And and I guess after everything he had done, after all the times, the phone calls, the emails, everything, I guess the final contract, for whatever reason, said the 27th, and that was it. So, too bad. But it was a good time. I enjoyed the bar. But yeah, obviously stuff happened, and this is why it's hard to have nice things. Not to mention, Dave negotiated for 50 people, $50 a person. That is unbelievable. Okay, when I did my birthday brunch 7 years ago, my birthday brunch, right? It was $30 a person, and it was brunch on New Year's Day, right?
Yeah.
The cheapest wedding I went to for $55 a person on a Sunday was in 2009. Okay, my sister's wedding in 1992 was still $75 a person. So, and that was the Sunday price because it was a 3-day weekend. It was a fabulous reception, by the way. But
But I agree. I think we're best just to get maybe reserve a spot at a restaurant, but then just have everybody, a la carte order food, that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, that's probably it. That's probably the best we can do because I don't know what else to do, man. Like, It is hard. I certainly do not have the means to organize that, or I would. But so that was brutal, but we had a good time, and hopefully it's fun all the same. Now there's a bunch.
No, it was great because you got to see such a big group, because there were people that I saw Friday night at the meetup that I didn't see the rest of the weekend. So it was good that we had that, and we're able to meet and meet so many people from the community. That was the the best part of it. Mr. Durs and Will is here. A couple comics joined us.
Will, the roomie.
Taylor has a suggestion. Maybe we reserve Twin Peaks and we go there for the meetup.
Well, you know what? Totally legit. I would be like, sure, but
because the food was good, right? Yeah.
It's just too far from the convention. That's the
actual. Okay.
So no, I think that bar, the walking distance, is perfect. I think we should all, like, a month before, all make reservations there, like in little clusters, and then be like, surprise, bitches, we're here. Good morning, fans of Cliff. Jeez. Go check out Velvet Joker here and on TikTok and on Instagram.
Mike and all the other Heroes Comics. Matt, do we say good morning to Matt? Heroes for Hire Club. He was there.
Good morning, Matt. The greatest part was seeing everyone hands down. And you know what? I'm going to say that too. Now, I didn't have the time and the energy, and it's mostly the time to go back and forth with Mark yesterday. Mark had a lot of valid points that these guys go show to show and they can't readjust their prices, whatever. And there was so many vendors there, right? My problem was, number one, the hive mind mentality. Everything out for display was almost the same thing over and over and over. Amazing Fantasy 15.
Right.
Giant size X-Men, number one. I saw some people with X-Men number one.
Yeah, no, there were a lot of similar wall book for sure. Yeah.
Phenomenal keys, but over and over and over and over with very little variety in between. And I'm like, I'm looking for Legion. By the way, I'm looking for Legion stuff. I found no Slab Legion keys at all. Number one. Number two, I found very little Legion, right? Number three, I want to turn Caroline into a Legion fan, so I go looking for the original Levitz run, right? The only thing I found were some random Tales of the Legion issues, which were reprints of his stories. And like, I gave her a lot of random books, but I didn't want to give her random books that were in the middle of a story, right? So, You see this right here? You see this right here? You see this shit right here, John? This shit right here, John's Comic Sans kids. This shit right here will give you a problem with me. All right?
Yeah, and I think John needs to change his name. His kids aren't kids anymore. They're
no, but like it can't be John's Comics with teens because it just sounds dirty. Or does he mean Legion, the Legion character from the New Mutants? No, I don't. I mean the Legion of Superheroes. And you know what, John? Why aren't you enjoying more Legion of Superheroes? Everything the X-Men has to offer, y'all, the Legion has to offer too. Go check it out. I'm tired of this shit. Half the freaking giant size X-Men were people who should have been in the freaking Legion in the first place. Go check it out.
So I'll give you my story on this book. So this was the last Star Wars book that I needed, and it's considered a key because it's the origin of Boba Fett. And it's the first time they mention the Mandalorians or Mandalore, the planet. And so this book runs in a raw copy about $100. Newsstand could be a little bit more. So I was looking for this book. I saw it at a number of vendors. So this book was listed for $125. I ended up paying $90 for it. But I saw that other vendors had this book a raw in similar condition for $200. So it was like there were prices that were all over the place. I mean, the good news is that there's so many vendors that you can go find it somewhere else.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, this book alone, I saw it. The cheapest I saw it listed was, like I said, I think this was $125. They had a sticker on it, and I paid $90. I think that was the lowest I saw it for. I saw worse condition books, at higher prices. And like I said, there was one vendor who had multiple copies of the book, and they were all listed at $200. And I was like, well, I can't even negotiate with you because you're $100 off where the fair market value right now. So it was kind of strange. But like I said, the good news was I could go somewhere else and ended up finding it. Then on Sunday, there was a lot of deals to be had. A lot of people were discounting stuff. So I was hunting some Marvel team-up books. I went to a vendor. I found 2 books. They were listed at, one was 30, one was 35. So it was 65 total. And the fair market value on those books was probably $45. So I offered him 50, and he was like, I need to pay for my booth.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, and just walked away.
I had a guy with that problem. Right.
Yeah, and then I found the book somewhere else I found one of the issues for like $10 somewhere else in a very similar condition. So
the first thing was I saw a new Avengers #7 for $85. Right. And I'm like, you've got to be effing kidding me. Right. I'm like, on its best day, that book is $50. Right. And the guy argued with me, and I was like, I'm not here for an argument. I don't want that book. I literally just put that book up for $7 2 weeks ago off my comic shop. I'm like, I don't need this, right? So I was like, for $85, I can get that book in a 9.8. I'm like, what are we even doing here?
Right.
So I encountered quite a bit of that, like people like really hard on the prices. Marcus, and I'm actually pretty good. So I found a guy with $25 slabs, right?
Yeah, I want to see what you got. I heard you found a nice, inexpensive slab guy.
Yeah, and he was lovely, but not a real vendor. Like his apparently, I had to get a whole education on the various types of vendors this weekend. Good Lord. So I got this for $75, the first appearance of the Spider clone, later to become Ben Reilly.
Oh, nice.
So I thought this was great. And I thought I paid at least fair market value. And I looked up on the phone real quick. I could not find one for less than $100 online. So the guy gave this one to me for $75, right? And then $25 for this.
That's one of the, what's that, like probably the...
Or the Hobgoblin Saga.
Second or third, or Hobgoblin, yeah.
No, not even the third. It's just part of... I just like that's part of the Hobgoblin Saga. And it's just a phenomenal cover. Also
that's
$25.
Cover, isn't it?
Yeah. Look,
Yeah.
and it's a newsstand. And which, I know the year came out, not a big deal. That's a newsstand, but still, $25. Very happy. Less than the cost of getting it slabbed. And he gave me this one for free.
Oh, nice. The photo cover. Yeah. Yeah.
So I felt so those are like my personal little pride and joy moment. And just the fact that I paid $125 for all 4 of those slabs, I think was excellent. Also,
definitely.
Also,
Comics Here and Cancer. Yeah.
The C3 book. The C3
I got my copy here somewhere.
Yeah. Definitely worth it. There's still variant covers out there for you to pick up, folks.
I think everything is sold. I think everything is sold out except that cover.
Right. This cover. What about the Egyptian cover? I think you could get the Egyptian cover from the artist who made it, right?
I'm not sure. I thought.
I'm still confused about the details, but there are covers out there to buy, people.
You can still definitely pick up this cover for sure. Yep. My 2 favorite pieces in it were Austin LeMay's and Taylor Winder's. So.
Oh, you're so sweet. I gotta tell you, the cover knocks my freaking socks right off.
Yeah, no, the cover's great. Cover's great, but I mean, on the interior side, I thought so I got there Friday morning, and I had some books to drop off at CGC. So I figured, let me go do that first, so that I can kind of not have to carry these books around with me. And I got stuck on the CGC line for 2 hours. So I got in an hour early, but I burned that and another hour waiting to drop my books off. So by the time, and then I went directly to the C3 booth, and by the time I got there, all of Austin's covers were sold out already.
So this is a Martin Savala Venom.
Oh, Venom's nice.
Yeah, and then this is I gotta look at the back of the book constantly. Joshua Lamb did this piece over here. Let me see. This was one of the covers, the Silver Surfer Galactus.
All right, yeah. Juggernaut. Yeah. The Juggernaut.
And there was a Juggernaut. Let's see. Juggernaut was Todd Beats. Christopher Lockwood was Surfer and Galactus. And then, of course, this is the back of the Comic Stream Cancer t-shirt this year. Interesting. They were understaffed.
Yeah, I'm surprised that, CGC was there last year, and they had a lot of people submitting books, and it took them a while to get books graded and back. So I'm surprised that they were understaffed this year because they had the experience from last year. So.
And you know what? They changed their little game too, where you pulled the pin. You had to get a 10 in order to get a slab, which I got a Transformer slab. Nice. But if you got a 9.8, you got a t-shirt. If you got a 1.0, it was something else. If you got a 0.5, it was stickers. And
last year you could pull a pin every day. So you could do Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This year it was just one per show.
Yeah. And that was something. But anyhow, this art book, really fabulous stuff this year. Also, do you remember the name of these guys? The Comic Clear Protection. I wish I could remember their name. They were really great, and they provided 200 of these for free to Comic Stream Cancer.
Yes. Yeah, so you got the clear, when you picked up the art book, you got the clear backing board so you can see the back cover as well.
Yes. So it was fabulous. The Austin LeMay metal variant sold very quickly. I mean, there was just so much going on there. So that was the first night.
Justin joined us in the chat. Good morning, Justin. TM Nerdy, good morning.
It was still very generous of CGC to give stuff away for free. Of course it is.
No,
but also a multi-million-dollar. What do you call it? I mean, if I'm ever running a multi-million-dollar company, I'm gonna give away fire shit when I'm at shows. I'm just saying, or I'm just not going to show up. Anywhere I show, if I'm running a multi-million-dollar show, you better believe when I show up, it's going to be absolute fire. Especially when I'm charging people an additional $15 same-day service fee on their slabs. You better believe that the shit I'm giving away is going to be like pow, 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 pow. You know?
I would have liked to seen the behind the scenes, how their grading setup was actually at the show. I'm sure they probably don't want to show that off, but it would be interesting to see what their setup is compared to how they have things set up at their headquarters.
Yep. But like whatever. I clearly am very overly critical. I get it. But like I'm just saying, last year was so exciting. Pull a pin every day. Oh, look at the slabs I got. And then like this year, it's like, yeah, one a weekend, and I'm like, well, why are we doing that?
And when they did do the golden eggs that they did last year, so they hid golden eggs throughout the con, and they posted some hints up on their story.
Copy found most of them. And what did he get? A T-shirt, a tier 2 subscription that he had already paid for, and then a tier 3 subscription, which then he was able to use for the stuff he did at the show. So bravo. And the tier 2 the new tier 2 he has is going to give it away on his show because he got 30 days to activate it. So Cuppy either has already given it away or is giving it away very soon. I can't speak for him because I barely slept all week. Friday we had a good Thursday and Friday we had a good sleep. We had our breakfast stuff that we got from Walmart on Friday morning. We did the thing Friday night. That was wonderful. We came home. I slept a good sleep. Saturday morning, I woke up with a fire, ready to roll because JSS had offered me and Izzy breakfast, and then the freaking parking was becoming an issue, and I'm stuck in the car. Cuppy's driving, Izzy's in the back seat trying to fix the parking situation, and I'm looking at the clock and I'm losing my mind. I'm like, I'm out, and I grabbed my stuff and I got out of the car and I just started hoofing it to the West End. Got up, got there, met JSS wife in the lobby. We went upstairs. I checked in for breakfast. I moved into the corner. Nick was like, Cliff, I made a space here at the table. I said, I know, but you didn't pay for my breakfast, so I'm sitting right over here. And and that was that thing. Then the next day, we went through all of it again, but with 4 or less hours of sleep. Saturday night, we're having a gay old time I'm having a gay old time, but not in the fun way for those of you watching Adrian. And like, we're just there, we're chilling, we're waiting for Cuppy. Cuppy is with artist Ken Knudsen. That's his friend who lives in Charlotte, but they're at the bar, and we don't know that until we finally figure it out. And then it's 3 Puerto Ricans doing a Puerto Rican goodbye. We're still saying goodbye to Dave and this other gentleman who's a dealer who Cuppy thought was Brian Stillfreeze in his drunkenness, right? Not to mention the art show where I was running around trying to say hello to people left and right. And then, of course, what am I even doing at this art show? I ain't got no money for any of this. So it was just a lot. And then we did like a fun little video in the girls' suites, me and Eamon. And
yeah, I caught that after the fact. Yeah, I didn't.
Like, it was just all over. And then, Dave's like, oh, we'll meet you at 7:30 for breakfast. 7:30 for breakfast on Sunday, David. Anyhow, I could jumped out of bed. I was a lunatic. I'm throwing stuff in the car. I'm getting this car started. I'm out of my mind. And he's like, just text Dave that we're on our way. And I was like, yes, because since I'm the one who didn't make this plan with Dave, let me do the texting. Like I said, I was very bitchy this weekend. And apparently I'm a high maintenance diva because number one, my 6'3" big ass demanded his own bed, and then Cuppy came and found me because Cuppy had to sleep on the couch. The poor guy, I love him so much. He made so many sacrifices this past weekend, and I bought him a C3 shirt, right? And
Will's a good guy.
Right. He was ready and he didn't even go to breakfast. So anyhow, I'm acting like a maniac. I'm like running around. I'm throwing out my leftover yogurt. Will is like making an ice pack for his leftovers. I'm like, good on you, Will. I'm like, I ain't taking chances, especially in this heat. So of course I went up there, I devoured the breakfast, and then everyone has a press pass and all that. So the whole freaking room, except for me, Taylor Winder, and Daniel, because I saw Daniel come in for breakfast and he sat outside the patio with his one buddy. We all know who that is. I won't say his YouTube name. And love this guy. You know, so anyhow, so Taylor and I have a whole thing. Taylor's like, okay, I'm gonna get myself ready to go over, and the girls are like, Cliff, come up to our suite. And I was like, of course. So I went up there. We had a lovely time. Side quest. Good morning. It was lovely meeting you at the con too. So
very Eric, very talented artist. He had a couple AOKs for Dope and Hall Yeah and Lettuce. Eric's a great artist.
All right, so Saturday at 4 p.m., finding out that my aunt passed away definitely like put a damper on my Saturday high.
Sure. Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I didn't have like a real problem with the show. Like, I'm just upset at like, why didn't I do like next year? Like, I gotta go for the press pass and or the VIP like other people did. I definitely have to come with more money. I definitely want to stay at the West End. And like we actually started to get into almost an argument about it in the car on the ride back, because Izzy's like, you're paying for convenience. And I'm like, but the convenience is extreme. Right?
But let me ask you. So what did you, if you don't mind sharing, what did you pay? So you, Cuppy, and Izzy rented an Airbnb. So
and a car. And it came out to $380 a person.
Okay.
Right? That's very good.
So because I was at the West End for 2 nights, and so Friday night, Saturday night, I had breakfast Saturday and Sunday, and you have to pay for parking. So my bill for 2 nights and breakfast and parking was $600.
Right, but if you had shared that with somebody else, it would have been $300.
Yeah, that would have been, or half of that, right? So.
Right, so I'm thinking at $200 a night, and we do 4 nights, like Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. No, 3 nights. That's $600 for 3 nights, right? Because we're gonna pretend we're gonna get the convention discount, right?
Right.
So that would still work out to $300 a person. All right, $330 if we're gonna split parking, right, or something like that.
But you are paying for the convenience, because there were times where I would leave the con, go back to my room, drop stuff off, and then go back. Maybe that took me a half hour to go back and come back, get a drink or whatever, and then go back to the con. So you're certainly paying for the convenience, but you're also, you have the drink and draw that happens Friday night if you want to go to that. You have the art auction there Saturday night at the West End. There's so many people that stay from the community at the West End, and a lot of the curators there. So, when you're having breakfast, sometimes you see, Scotty Young was at the bar one night, that kind of thing. So there's certainly the convenience factor, staying at the West End.
No, there's a tremendous convenience factor. Wait. Oh, look at this. Who dat?
Higgy's here.
It was.
Yeah, everybody's showing up this morning.
So I believe that Who Dat stayed at the Hilton, and the Hilton's close by, but the prices are similar. But
right. Didn't Phil stay at the Hilton, which is just down the street, I think, right?
Yes. And I did get the first sweaty hug of the year. But so, by the way, when we're in the lobby, and Brian, you were the recipient of one of the Cliff screams. Whenever I saw someone, I'm like, Larry! And like everyone's like, oh my god, and he's like, yeah, and I'm like, Brian! I'm just startling people. Weston card is necessary when you're trapped in the elevator, bro. Yes, of course. And then there was a whole other thing with the card. Now, at one point, Matt couldn't get back into his room. I said, well, Matt, let's check at the front desk if you're on the reservation. He goes, well, it's in my mom's name. I was like, but your mom may have added you. Anyhow, his mom was smart. She added him because when we talked to Rachel at the front desk, His name was on the room, and she produced a card for him immediately. And we were running up and down that elevator like nobody's business. I'm like, boop, bing, boop, bing. We went everywhere. It was great.
Now, Lady Fantastic, Madam, and Christina, they got a suite?
Yes, they did. It's
okay.
So the end suite and the room adjacent to the end suite, right?
Okay.
And
they were there Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Were they there 4 nights?
And Sunday.
Right. Okay.
And let me tell you, for their 4 days, they paid about. Actually, I don't know if I feel. Anyhow, they paid a reasonable amount of money.
Right. I think I heard the number.
4 days. Yeah. But that was still quite a bit. But between 3 people, less horrifying. I was just working on the difference for Terrificon this year. I booked 10 miles away for a total of $205. Next year, I plan to stay at the hotel, which can be double just for a queen. And that's with the discount. So, it really makes a big difference. But also, so my friend Velvet Joker here and I, we each take our own car and we just meet And then so we each have our own way to go back home, shower, whatever. It's easier. I mean, it's easier than this scenario in North Carolina. I told you had a good hookup. See, Bizzle, good morning. Wait a second, let's go back. Hilton was literally on the other side of the convention. So I say stay there or the Westin. Yes, absolutely. I agree. There was a comic talent drinking at the Westin all weekend. That bar was the spot to be. Yeah, the bar was pretty cool. Especially because all of us were eating the smash burger, and the smash burger is only on the late night menu, which basically is a secret menu item, right? So I think that was fine. Split a hotel by the airport, 10-minute Uber drive, definitely paying to stay downtown next year. Yeah, exactly. And the 10-minute Uber drive ends up being quite a bit. So I refer to my adventure as HeroesCon, the poor and the foolish.
Well, it was year 1, so it was a learning experience, right?
I know, but I should have known better, and I still.
Well, no, I mean, I did the same thing. So I was planning on doing, a lot of different things, and then I get to the con, and that plan went out the window. So.
Oh, all plans go out the window, and I have to be more accepting of that. Actual Dracula, yes, I am going to Terrificon. Wow, we've gone through 53 minutes just talking about this, and I haven't even done we haven't even done one of my favorite things. And although it's gonna be real easy, you have stuff from the con, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, good. We're gonna choose. Where are my media assets? I don't know what I'm doing. Here we go. We're going to the Bussy Buster. So this is my Bussy Buster from HeroesCon, okay? First clone, soon to be Ben Riley, 7.5, presents beautifully, $75. I got 3 other books with it for $125. I have 0 complaints. I'm very excited. I didn't find any of my other keys this weekend. And actually, this was even on my 2025 list. This was just wow, this is a good deal. I'm not going to give it up. So
yeah.
Making the and a Gwen clone appearance and first Jackal, all that stuff, making this my Bussy Buster for HeroesCon 2025. Now, Brian.
So this was an AOK from Dope Comics, bootleg Spider-Man. So I've heard about this, but I've never read it. And this is I got to read this last night, and it is hysterical. I don't want to spoil it because just in case if you go pick it up, but it was obviously it's a bootleg Spider-Man. It has nothing to do with Marvel, and so it's a pretty interesting and funny story. Spidey he's not really a nice guy in this one. It's pretty interesting. So that's my.
But I wonder how they get away with it. Do they get away with it because it's a satire?
I guess because they basically say in the opening that this has nothing to do with Marvel, but I mean I mean, it's pretty. I mean, it says Spider-Man on the cover, and it's pretty clear. I mean, although there's no hyphen in his name, but
Yeah.
pretty clearly Spider-Man on the cover. So, yeah, I don't know what type of legal action may have been taken for this, but it was a fun read.
Actual Dracula thinks it's a fantastic. Well, he thinks it's a great pickup, so that's wonderful. I saw it at the con a couple times. I'm like, I don't know what this is, but like, I guess I'll figure it out eventually. You know. Oh my goodness! My goodness!
But yeah.
Ooh! We got Biggie Shaq tonight at 5 p.m. over on MJ Comics.
Okay, yeah, I knew it was coming up this weekend.
July 26th, we have a new show called Off the Press with the 9.9 newsstand on MJ Comics. Oh, how interesting.
MJ's leaning into the interviews, and he does a good job over there.
He does. Listen, his Oprah moments are so good. I love them. What does the comic book community mean to you? Yeah, I like how my answer was like, we're going to find out at HeroesCon. We're going to find out. You know, which, by the way, I can only say to that, wonderful at HeroesCon, because we really did have such a great time. It was so much fun meeting people. Although I definitely feel like I didn't meet everybody. Like, there are definitely people I missed, especially Sunday, because we left early, right? There's all sorts of people who were there Sunday who I did not get to meet. And, like, you know, and I'm like, no!
It's almost like we need a day when there's no con, like either Thursday or Monday, where we can hang out, because you're so busy with the con and you want to go see the auction and you want to go get this signature and that, you're kind of running around on the floor, that the Friday meetup was perfect because we got to see 50 or 60 people, but it's almost like we need a non-con day to kind of just hang out. But everybody coming in from out of town, it gets, obviously will increase the price of, staying there, that kind of thing. So, but that would, I think, would be perfect to have.
I'm going to call it Thursday, Brian. I'm going to say Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday's probably the way to go. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that one, like based on this year's experience, and I wish, although the food at Twin Peaks was just fine, despite my surprise, I feel like Thursday should be our hangout time.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea.
Did everyone enjoy Ironheart half as much as I did? And are we looking forward to them showing continuous magic and tech together, which will lead to Doctor Doom? It may lead to Doctor Doom. Who knows what they're doing? I'm okay with the magic and tech thing. I did enjoy the show. I thought, like, this is definitely a show where I felt. Did you watch it, Brian?
I did.
Did you like it?
I did. I think I feel like I want to go back, and I was kind of doing some other things and kind of was watching it. I wasn't paying full attention to it. Let's put it that way. So I liked the look of it. The music was great. I thought the acting was well. The special effects were good. But I want to pay close attention so I can kind of follow I don't feel like I was following the story very well. So I want to go back and rewatch it. But what I saw of it, I enjoyed.
Well, I very much enjoyed it, and I felt it was the kind of show where it got better each episode, right? So I like that. I feel like that's good. I feel like it should be a ramping out. The con was spaced out a lot. Well, and the con is huge. This is like the biggest comic con. Period.
Yeah, but
right?
no, the floor itself is, there's plenty of room between the aisles.
Yeah,
it looks like
8,000 square feet.
A bunch of people are saying in the chat too that it looks like Thursday is going to be the day. So next year, where everybody's coming in early so to get ready for it. So that, maybe we do a Thursday night meetup as well. For everybody.
I think we should. Well, no, it should be very casual, like meet in the lobby for pizza.
Exactly. Well, I think I've heard a few people mention it. I guess there's a place that's not that far away where it's like 40 or 50 different food vendors or spots, and it's kind of like an open air place with different seating that a couple people went to. I know some people went last year, so maybe that's a spot because it has, you know, a variety of food, and it's a place that we could, you know, meet up.
That sounds great, and I'm all for that. Also, yes, I am quite tall.
Drew Manchu joined us too. He said Ironheart was unexpectedly awesome.
Yes, and I like it. Anyhow, I very much enjoyed it, but it's going to have its dissenters. Matt, by the way, Cliff, it was crazy seeing you on Near Mint Conditions Superman Evergreen show. You're going big time now. Seriously, was glad to see you.
Everywhere. Cliff is everywhere.
Listen, I'm working, man. I'm working. I gotta be out there. Also, it was an honor to be on the Superman Evergreen show because, like I'm like, it's Superman. I need to be there. Like, I was like, it's gotta happen. I'm very grateful to Bo and Jess and Crisis for aligning the stars for me to appear there. Plus, I met him at the show beforehand. I'm like, yo, what's up? And he's like, hey, I'm gonna be on your show this week. You know. Well, thank you, thank you.
He does. CBC Awards. Make sure you nominate.
Nominate people. Nominate. That reminds me, Brian, you're still holding out. So you have the figures on who should host the CBCA this year. You have not released that information yet.
Yeah, no, I've been working on that. I'm going to be reaching out to, we're probably going to have main hosts, two hosts that are the main host, and then a lot of guest appearances by other presenters and things this year. We're definitely going to switch it up to try to represent a good section of the community, and I'll kind of be in the background, taking care of things, making sure things run
Listen,
smooth.
I think that's a marvelous plan. I look forward to it, and I would love to see who's going to be co-hosting with me this year. So, like,
I'm okay with that. I'm just worried about what's happening after the first 7 minutes of the show. So that's what I'm worried about.
I mean, obviously, listen, I know how to keep it PG. I behaved myself on Near Mint Condition. We kept it spicy, but not too spicy. Everyone should make their plans for Baltimore. Drew, I want you to know that's so cute. I was like, Baltimore is like this big after you go to HeroesCon. HeroesCon is like this. This is Baltimore.
and Cliff needs a con to be that big to satisfy him. So
we all know my rules is 7 or better. I need a good community turnout. Dude, my friend usually gets a table there. If he gets a table this year, I'll try to go with him. But I make no promises. As it is, I'm already committed to Terrificon, and my body is still aching. I saw the footage.
Terrificon is when? End of July?
No, Terrificon is beginning of August. Well, yeah. Okay. Beginning of August, yes. So this year, it's going to be... What am I doing? Who am I talking to other than myself? Sales now, blah, blah, blah. 3 days, Mohegan Sun, celebrating 10 years, August 8th through 10th. Okay. I got to be all over that. And, of course, there's a VIP meet and greet with the John Romita Jr. himself. You'll get one.
Drew Manchu says that Baltimore's got girth.
You need balance. Short but thick clip. I need, you got to do it all. I think I injured my foot. So happy I'm done with cons until January. Wow, man. Wow. I did not injure my foot, but whatever the hell bit me down there, I'm still rubbing freaking stuff on it, and I got to go see my doctor. I'm like, why is this bite making a line? I'm scared. Terrificon is 3 days after my 50th birthday. Will not be in the mood for celebrating. Oh, cat fan. There are so many freaking celebrities who are going to be at TerrificCon. I'm out of my mind. You know, because what's her name?
They draw a pretty good
yeah,
group of people.
Elizabeth, what's her name? Elizabeth Salute. And Tyler Hoechlin will both be there from Superman and Lois.
Oh, okay.
Billy Zane will be there. Phil Lamar's coming back. Who else have we got? We got a lot of people. We got people from Baldur's Gate, the game. We got Keith Silverstein, voice actor. Amelia Tyler, voice actor. Lee Majors. Lindsay Wagner. Oh, shit. We got Bionics in the house.
Very nice.
Umberto Ramos, Mark Silvestri, Scotty Young, Jonathan Hickman, Chris Claremont, Haley Atwell, Henry Thomas, Karen Allen, Carl Lumbly, Doug Jones, Titus Welliver. Oh my God. And you can also pay to have your special meet and greet for $250 with John Romita Jr. It gets you one pre-drawn headshot, not of your choice, 10 signatures with CGC witnessing, one exclusive photo or one exclusive print of Spider-Man, one photo opportunity, and a little bit of one-on-one time with John Romita Jr. himself. All ticketed meet and greet attendees will be entered into a raffle for an exclusive full-figure original drawing. Blah, blah, blah. Wonderful. I don't think it's sold out yet.
Wow, look at John. He's being, he can't mingle with us on the East Coast. He's going to San Diego Comic-Con for 4 days.
Yeah, but that's not a real Comic-Con.
This is true.
So, so have fun with whatever that show is. And it's really funny. Like, you got to base things on experience. But every time I watch a San Diego Comic-Con video, it just doesn't do it for me. It doesn't feel like what I'm looking for. And
it seems to me like I don't even know if I have to go back and look on YouTube. I'm sure there's con floor footage, but I always just see the panels that, all of the different movie and TV show panels. Yeah. Yeah.
Like there's very little con floor footage. And when there is, it just like it's just not like, I don't know, like it just doesn't, the vibe for me is just not there.
Right. Right.
But like you can find walkthroughs like San Diego Comic-Con 2023 show walkthrough by Conquest, right? Like they do a very nice job, right? But like it doesn't feel like anything. Like it just feels almost like what I get at New York Comic-Con. And that's something that's turned me off over the years about New York Comic-Con. Number one, the price keeps getting more and more outrageous, right? For no reason other than greed, right? And then like it just doesn't feel like a comic book show. It's just like, oh, look at these big showpieces and look at all these future figures and statues coming out and like. But in the meantime, HeroesCon was checking my boxes. Come meet creators. Come get their autograph. Take a picture with them. Shop for books. That's what I want out of my experience. Collector P. FTC a lot of comic dealers, but I'll be there. There you go. That's right. Capture it.
Yeah, I think a few people did the JRJR meetup at Heroes, and they said it was good. I think Dave did it too, right? Still only 35 cents. We got Eric who said side quest. Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Nice.
TerrificCon is a possibility, but definitely be at Baltimore. I like seeing celebrities, but they've gotten crazy expensive. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ooh, Drew, yes, DM him. Let's see. Don't let Drew control you, JSS. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. So, Brian, you want to speak a little bit about the Comic Book Community Awards? Remind people that they should be nominating. This is the nomination process, everybody.
Yeah, not the nomination piece is so important, right? Because it's the only way you can become a finalist. So last I checked, we were 275 ballots in so far. So just continue. We're running through August 2nd is the last time that you can nominate. So just so important that you nominate your favorites. Because that's like I said, the only way that they can become finalists is if you nominate them and get them on the nomination ballot. So, but so far so good. Good response. I know people have been making some videos. People are talking about it on their live streams or in some of their videos. So definitely, continue to do that. Spread the word. Any questions? Just please certainly reach out to me, or on Instagram or email. I'm happy to answer any questions if anybody has any clarifications needed or even suggestions. We've already starting to get some suggestions in for next year, taking notes on that. So just excited to be year 5 of the CBC Awards, and really driven by the community. So just continue to nominate, please.
We're trying to do better all the time, people.
Yes.
All the time. I keep
I think everybody's been pretty positive with the changes that we've made this year. So, so far so good. And, working on, like I said, we've talked a little bit about the host and stuff, working on some of those things in the background. And then as we get closer to November 1st for the live show to announce the winners, I'll be reaching out to community members to, we'll obviously have some, like I said, guest host and some videos from the community. So be working on that as we get closer to the live show. But, if anybody's interested, just please reach out.
I'm very much looking forward to it. Very much. All right. We're almost at the end here. I'm not gonna beat everyone to death with it. Let's go into my favorite game of the weekend, Rate It or Hate It. And of course, this year's Rate It or Hate It is from the year 2021. We're gonna start at number 10, Dark Reign, Young Avengers, number 1, featuring the Young Masters of Evil. Brian, do we rate it or hate it?
I don't know much about it, so I'm gonna say hate it, because I don't.
I mean, that's a bit harsh because I like it, but it's okay. 3 years ago, speculation surrounding Disney Plus series Loki and the appearance of the Enchantress had her first appearance in Dark Reign, Young Avengers climbing in price on the aftermarket. Collectors were paying $70 for raw copies, and a 9.8 hitting a high of 535. 4 years have passed since her debut on the second episode of Loki, and while the character was met with overwhelming praise, prices on this first appearance have not been able to hold up, which is terrible, but this is a fun series, and I still recommend it. All right, moving right along. Stray Dogs, number 1, the Silence of the Lamb variant. All right, 4 years ago, the hottest new series on the planet was Stray Dogs, an excellent premise featuring man's best friend and a brilliant idea to have horror movie montages. Obviously, raw near mints have taken a dive down to $10, graded 9.8 copies, going insanely low for $25. I love me a $25 slab. Do we rate it or hate it, sir?
I rate it. I like Trish, and I like some of these variant covers.
Yeah, I'm giving it we're getting a scale of 1 to 5. I'm giving it a solid 3.
3? Okay, I'll agree with that.
All right, next up we have a spicy one. Nice House on the Lake, number 1 from DC, now part of their Vertigo imprint. All right, do we rate it or hate it?
I think we'll rate it, right? This series had a lot of buzz when it came out, right? it was a decent read.
It's still popular.
Yes, yeah. And wasn't there a sequel too, right? Nice
House by the Sea. That's the current sequel. And Vertigo is back finally. I'm going to give this one, I'm giving it a solid 4. It's a great read. I like it. I like what Tynion did here. I'll go with it. Trev, good morning. It's a mirage of comic book investing. I mean, yeah, kind of. Got to grab a nice trade of nice house yet. Yes, I agree. Next up, this one's just weird, but I know it has to do with the movies. 4 years ago, the first appearance of Eddie Brock's son, Dylan, was the hot book of June. It's Venom number 9 from 2018.
I'm going to rate it.
Okay.
I read this series. It was good. I enjoyed it. I think the Venom, this whole symbiote thing, has gotten a little bit out of control. Very similar to the Spider-Verse. Too many characters, but this was a pretty good introduction to Eddie's son being Venom. So I'll go 3.
I will also go 3, and I actually like Dylan Brock. Overall, mostly. They gave him a pretty good story until they didn't. But it was mostly good. Next up, back from 2021, an all-new Spawn series emerged with this beautiful 1 in 50 cover by Brett Booth. It's Spawn Universe number 1 in 50.
I like the cover. I like the sketch cover. I don't know anything about the series, so...
Well, it's a bit of an anthology, and of course, it's got the Brett Booth cover action going for it.
So we'll rate it. I like the cover. Naaman joined us.
Yes.
Galper Roscoe's here. Good morning, guys.
Roscoe, meeting you was such a pleasure. A pleasure. And your dad.
Oh, yeah. His dad riding shotgun with Roscoe down.
Oh my God! Listen, his dad was almost his own show. It was great. All right, what are we going to give? I'm going to give this a 4, but I'm going to admit my bias. I really do enjoy Brett Booth.
I'm going to go 3. Yeah, no, I agree. I like Brett Booth's work.
And by the way, oh my God, you know what? I just think I'm a moody bitch. I just think I'm a moody bitch. And then we complicate it with I was just tired and hot a lot, and then I'm watching other people just run to their room and run back, and it was really. And then I felt like there was a lot of FOMO happening because I kept worrying about having to I don't know. I just felt like I would have been. Ultimately, my bougie ass would have been happier staying at the West End, which means that Mark was right about something. And you know how much I hate for Mark to be right about something because he thinks he's right about everything, but he isn't. All right. Next up, Usagi Yojimbo number 20. Where did this come from? This issue features the first appearance of Yukichi Yamamoto, a new recurring character. Fans are interested enough to grab a copy at raw near mint prices of $29. Rate it or hate it?
We'll rate it. I've heard good. I've never read this series, but I continue to hear good things from the community about the series. So I'll stick with my 3 right in the middle. We'll go 3.
I'm gonna stick with a 3 as well because I rarely hear negative things about this series. People just love it, which is great. Which means it's for somebody, a lot of somebodies. Cliff wants the world, have the sundae, and get the extra cherry. All because I felt with 3 men in one place, we needed 2 bathrooms. How unreasonable of me, 2 toilets is important. And I know y'all will never talk about it, but you love that shower head. You loved it. I know you did. Breakfast was kind of mid after you find out you're being charged $32 a pop. Listen, that's why I'm so happy. God bless those of you who bought me breakfast on 2 days. And let me tell you, I made sure I ate $32. I did. I ate the waffles. I ate the eggs. I ate the sausage. I ate the bacon. I ate the biscuit.
I was going to say, don't forget the biscuits and gravy. I saw you enjoying a biscuit and a gravy and some gravy.
Did you see? I was told I was doing it wrong.
Yes, I did. I did hear. Yes, we discussed that. Yeah, at breakfast. Yeah,
because I split my biscuit open and poured the gravy across. Apparently, that's just not done. You're supposed to dump that gravy right on top of the biscuit and dig your way through. I did try it that way just to see, and it just didn't feel right. It just didn't feel right. Oh my God, we needed 2 showers, but we had 2 toilets. Listen. I think you would really be rolling the dice if we didn't have 2 toilets. I feel like that's a big dice roll. Also, we had a gigantic yard. Our yard was bigger than the freaking Airbnb. A gigantic yard for no reason for us. And also, Northerners know little of biscuits and gravy etiquette. Apparently, I don't. But I love biscuits and gravy. 32 is a rip-off. I can feed 2 people at Denny's for $32. Shoot, on the right day, you can feed 3 people at Denny's for $32.
Their bacon was crispy, though.
Biscuits and gravy is a position in the bedrooms, Cliff says. It can be. I believe you did the biscuits right, Cliff, but what do I know? I'm a Californian. Exactly. Exactly. All right, moving on to number 4 on our list. It's Marvel Secret Wars number 3, the introduction of Titania, because someone figured that Titania being on the She-Hulk series was really going to fire up this book.
Oh, we're going to rate this one. This is the issue where Spider-Man beats down the X-Men. I love this issue.
Yeah, I'm a fan of this issue in a few ways. Yeah, I'm definitely. I'm giving this issue a 3.
I'm going 4. I'm going 4.
You're going 4, but you just love that Spider-Man beats up the X-Men.
Oh yeah, I remember reading this when it came out, and I was pumped as a Spidey fan. Like, Spidey just smacked down the X-Men. Let's go.
I really gotta tell you. Good morning. I really gotta tell you, it felt a little forced that he beat the X-Men. It felt a little forced. You know. I mean, one good bolt of lightning from Storm, Nightcrawler's. I'm saying if the X-Men weren't still trying to get their crap together as a team, this could have gone their way.
Well, it could have gone sideways for Spidey, for sure, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I just, does he have experience tangoing with the likes of Colossus and Wolverine? He does, but I feel like Nightcrawler can really give it to him, and I feel like Storm can bring a weather report that'll shatter his afternoon. Anyone paying over $20 for a Secret Wars that was not number 8 is ridiculous. I gotta agree with you, dude. I gotta agree with you. Next up, we're back in the world of Trish Forstner and Fleeks. It's Stray Dogs number 1.
I like John making excuses for the X-Men too here.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
I mean, well, what? This is our second Stray Dogs on. We gotta rate it. We'll go 3. We'll go 3 for me.
I'm going 3 again. Yeah, it's still a great book. I really like the next one, and of course, market speculation. It's Madame Xanadu number 1. Because, of course, everyone heard that Justice League Dark was going to be adapted for HBO Max. So, whatever. I can't. I don't even have enough eye rolls for this. Cliffy can't give Spidey a W. I can give him a W. I just feel like not. Come on. Storm and Nightcrawler would tie him up. Come on. I believe. But I love me some Spidey, and I love it. Listen, that whole time, remember when Spidey was teaching X-Force how to beat Juggernaut? That was gorgeous. I loved it. It's no, Y'all don't understand. I've beaten him before. It takes work. We gotta like confuse him and slow him down. Like Spidey was like, I've got the game plan. Let me just follow my lead, X-Force. I thought that was great. Stray Dogs is fire. More than cover on modern image book is silly as well. Oh, some image books are dope though. We gotta get back to that. But anyhow, Madam Xanadu, are we gonna rate it or hate it?
We'll rate it. I'll stick with my 3.
I will also stick with a 3, especially since this is not her first appearance. So it's just hard to just...
Good morning, Paul. Good to see Paul at HeroesCon.
Yes. Happy Saturday, sir. Happy Saturday. I can't believe how tired I still am.
Thomas joined us too. I forgot to mention Thomas. Good morning.
By the way, I'm not even that excited for number 1 because number 1 is Stray Dogs number 5. The variants.
But these were fun. These were fun covers. The horror, themed covers. They were fun.
Yeah, and it's funny because there's a lot of amazing stories. I'm like, why aren't people after this book? This book is amazing. Yeah, Doorway to Nightmare number 1 should be there instead of Man of Xanadu because people don't really like. I think all these people just we have the internet, and people they don't use their brains. They just don't. Look, he's still jet lagged. Love this cover too. I love this cover.
I do too.
I'm giving it a 4, and the bonus point is because I really enjoyed the cover.
I'll go 3. I'll stick with my 3.
And it's fair. It's fair. All right. That was it for Rate It or Hate It, everybody. Brian, anything else you want to share? Because I think we shall wrap it up here this week.
No, I don't think so. Like I said, just go out and nominate. And if you're thinking about HeroesCon, just watch all of the videos from the past week from everybody who attended and start saving your money now.
Exactly. Save your money. Save your money. In fact, if you could save, hold on, let me do some math. If you could save $50 a week, if you can figure out a way to save $50 a week, that'll get you at $2,600. That's a nice little HeroesCon adventure. Because you got to figure you're gonna lose about $700 for the hotel, roughly, right? And then you're probably gonna lose like another $150 on food, maybe. That'll bring you down to the $1,700 range, and then I think you're safe. I think that's a good way to spend.
I didn't spend a ton of money on books, because there are shows near me locally almost every weekend or every other weekend. So I wasn't really focused on. It was more about being there and meeting everybody and hanging out. I certainly picked up some books. I probably spent a couple $100 easy on comic related stuff at the con, but it was more about just being there and hanging with the community. So
absolutely.
Eric says he's putting away $100 a paycheck. All right, that works.
Right, that's a great way to do it. And if you get paid every other week, that's it. You're at $2,600 in 26 paychecks. I figure that's it. That's the way, folks. Just keep
Terry's got a dilemma. He's got a plane ticket from the UK.
I'm just saying, Terry, 100 pounds every 2 weeks, man. That's all I'm saying. I feel like that'll pay for it.
Mad Spidey joined us.
Spidey, I love you. You know what? I hope he knows how much. He knows how much he is loved. That we were like, oh, Spidey's live. Let's stop what we're doing here at the bar and just try to join him for a few minutes. I hope you know how much you are loved.
Very nice.
All right.
I don't think I watched YouTube at all during HeroesCon weekend.
Oh, good Lord. I very little because I would wake up and Chris the Comic Vet's video would be ready in the morning. And I'm okay, Chris, we're playing hardball. Let's see, And I barely watched any YouTube. It's so funny. because YouTube is such a big part of my week.
Adam just joined us up in Adam Comics.
Ooh, there we go. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Just as we're saying goodbye. All right, folks. Tonight at 6 p.m., I'm doing my grand reveal. No, actually, no. Tonight at 6 p.m., we're doing the reveal of the scavenger hunt for HeroesCon at 6 p.m. Eastern. So we're gonna show our stuff. Well, I'm not. I mean, I organized it, so I can't participate. But you, the audience, are gonna declare the winner. I'm gonna mail out some great stuff to them, and I'm going to do my members giveaway for June tonight at 6 p.m. as part of that show. So if you're not a member already, join up. There's gonna be some really good stuff. We have a really, really nice gift. We have a really nice slab going into the June giveaway, everybody. Look at that beauty.
Very nice.
So look at this. Alex Ross cover, Virgin cover, Generations, Wolverine and Wolverine. So yes, the Generations Wolverine and Wolverine has a bunch of Captain Marvels. All right, tonight, 6 p.m. Don't forget, love you folks. Until next time, peace and spread the love, as Christina Payne always says.
Yes.
Bye.